Hello, I am Melissa Schlegel, and this video will give you a brief tour of the online lecture section of Geology 104, Natural Hazards and Environmental Geology. When you log on to Blackboard, you will first see the announcement page, where I will post announcements such as due dates for assignments and other things. I will also post a weekly news report of some hazard in the news. This week, flooding in California. Natural hazards have social and economic impacts, and hopefully these posts will help you be more aware of these impacts. You can always send me links of hazards in the news, and if I like them, which I'm guessing I will, I'll post them. Next item in the red column is the faculty information. Here's my awesome picture. I always look like this. The most important part of this page is my contact info. The best way to get a hold of me is through email. I check it regularly. In the red column below faculty information is the syllabus and course schedule. Please read the syllabus. Important to note that you must be concurrently taking the Geology 104 lab and pass the lab in order to pass the course. Grading follows this scheme. Your final grade will be comprised of both the lab and lecture grade. The lab grade will be worth exactly 25% of your total grade. I use fractions to figure this out, so even though the points are not exactly 25% of the total points, the lab is still only worth 25% of your total grade. Everything else is pretty normal. Suggestions for success include watch and participate in the learning media, pay attention, take notes, etc. Read the associated chapter in the textbook. Respond to the discussion board questions. Study for tests. And email me if you have problems that affect your course performance before you've missed a lot of coursework. We can usually work things out if I know what's going on. I also expect you to put in the time you need to learn the material. I highly suggest spending a lot of time studying for tests. And I use participation in the discussion boards as attendance. If you have not attended the first or second week, then you will be dropped from the course. This page is what I consider to be the most important page in the syllabus, the course schedule. The course schedule covers about one chapter from your textbook per week. As you see, I expect you to read the chapter, watch posted media. I also strongly suggest you answer study guide questions on a weekly basis. Again, please note that the study guide questions found under these course documents will make up the majority of the test questions. They are also the source of your extra credit. See, if you email me the completed answers to the study guide questions by Friday before the exam, you may get up to 5 points extra credit, depending on completeness. There are 3 tests, 1 cumulative final exam. These exams will be taken in the testing center You will need to schedule your test in the testing center at least 2 business days prior to taking the test. You will also need to take a photo ID with you. The formats of the test will be determined later, and I will let you know how many multiple choice questions, how many short answer, etc. Note, I like drawings. So if you see me drawing in the posted media, I suggest you learn to draw it too. There is a class project. It will be a paper about 3 pages long about a specific natural hazard, like the 1980 Mount St. Helens eruption or the 1989 Loma Prieta earthquake. You get to pick your specific natural hazard. Just be sure you can meet the requirements of the rubric. Some natural hazards just don't have a lot of information. I will post to the rubric for the class project under course documents and let you know when I do. Before we leave the course schedule, note that the due dates are Friday of that week. The next tab down is course documents. In this tab, you will find the study guide questions, the discussion board rubric, and later the class project rubric. Note again that my exams are comprised of questions primarily from the study guide questions. Of course, the questions are slightly modified to fit the testing environment, but the information for the answers is the same. Other course documents will also be posted here, and I will let you know about them as I post them. The next item in the red column is the weekly modules. Each module follows a similar format, with a brief introduction and list of objectives, followed by a checklist for that week. Next, there are several content pages covering information about the chapter. The next tab in the red column is the discussion board, where we will discuss questions. You will be required to post your answer to the questions and then respond to other classmates' answers, usually. The icebreaker is an exception. I will post the correct answer to the question after the due date. However, most of the discussion questions are fairly open-ended and may have several correct answers. That being said, there are wrong answers. I will try to address any wrong trends I see in my correct answer. In conclusion, I'm excited to be leading this course, and I hope the course will be both exciting and educational.